Cool. Yeah, cake. So, my toddler just told me she wanted some strawberry cereal, so I go take her into the kitchen to get strawberry cereal, and she's like, "No!" Oh, great, this thing again. So instead, we're looking through the fridge because she brought me into the kitchen on false pretenses, and she told me that she wanted cake. So I didn't give her the cake that she wanted, but we found a different cake to give her, so she's eating cake now at 9 in the morning. All right, so you are known as Colonel Paul Do Not Even Try. Is that Gama or Gama or what?
Gama. Well, my family is French, and I think it's a Portuguese name.
Interesting.
I believe. Well, I don't have any Portuguese family, but from what I searched, Vasco da Gama and everything, I'll have to do some research about it.
Okay, I see. So I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but you are a YouTuber who runs a small YouTube channel, and you play War Thunder. You have some videos on that. You're a big fan of the Sherman tank, which becomes pretty obvious pretty fast when people are watching your videos. And also, what was else? Oh, right. I think one of the things that I find really interesting about your channel is your model building videos. I like that. I'd like to see more of those. It's neat to see all the different ways that War Thunder players have their own style of content, and I think you've really found your way of standing out from the dozens and dozens of people that are making videos right now.
Well, originally I do not make I want my channel to be more specifically targeted towards history. I do some small War Thunder content time to time, but my channel is really more towards history and things like that, and model building too.
Okay, yeah. And let's see. So you're called to circle back a little bit. Tell me about how did you come up with the name Colonel Paul? I think your name actually Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, my name is actually Paul. It's just Colonel, I think, is just the best sounding. It's not even that interesting. It's just I think Colonel sounds better than General or Sergeant and everything. It just sounds better, so I went with Colonel. And the Do Not Even Try part was more of a... let's just call myself Do Not Even Try, so do not even try to engage me or anything like that. It's really more...
Looks like we got a badass on our hands here.
It's more of a joke. I'm not even that great at the game too. It's I think my KD is negative, so it's under 50%, but I just enjoy it for the fun of it. But overall, yeah, it's more I was originally called The Hunter X200, which quite frankly doesn't sound as good as Do Not Even Try. But yeah, I think I finally found my name.
Okay, and let's see. So my name, I think I've told you my name before. Is that my name is actually Casey. I use the name Toshio on my channel just because it's been my internet name for ages. So it goes all the way back to my Battlefield 2142 days. But anyway, or 2042? I think it's 2042. Anyway. Let's see. So, what have you been up to lately? I noticed that you've been putting some more model videos on your channel, which is something I was talking about. What have you been doing lately, and what are you looking forward to with your channel right now?
With the channel right now, because lately I was occupied because I work a full-time job right now, because I basically dropped out of school for 6 months to go into another school, but it's quite complicated. There's sessions of 6 months and I cannot enter before it. So I had to wait 6 months to enter a new school. So what I did is work full job. And in the meantime, I made those videos. I couldn't do a lot. And so I just found that model building videos are quite easy to do, and I really love doing them because I just need to put a camera and just record myself doing my stuff in my basement and with minimal editing. And what I want to go towards, it's more like really go back to my original ideas of really making some real history videos based on what I know, at least. And trying to be less biased towards the Sherman. I'm working on that. Slowly working on it.
I did notice something of a bias in your historical video.
Well, the first video about I gotta admit, I need to admit it. The first, saying the Sherman was, I still believe the Sherman is the best thing of the war. But I think that video has a major flaws, and I do not talk about the flaws that the Sherman had. Give some credit to more of a, how can I say it? Give some credit to other tanks or things like that towards German tanks and things like that. So, yeah. But right now, I'm working right now on a video about the Sherman, criticizing the Sherman Firefly and saying, no spoiler. I don't want to get into spoilers if you want to watch the video later, but basically saying that the Firefly was necessary, but I wouldn't want a crew one. It's basically I don't know if you know the bar gun, that huge
yes,
machine gun,
the overly heavy squad MG that has a 10 round magazine. No, 20. I think it's 20 round box magazine. Everybody likes the gun except the one that are using them. Because
they
weigh a ton.
So they weigh a ton, they don't have much ammo, and the recoil is just incredible.
Oh, and the I want to call it the kickstand, but the bipod mounted on the barrel is really just poorly designed. It swivels all over the place, and there's no way to get it to be easy to work with. It's just a poorly designed bipod. Anyway.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, so I was going to ask you, first off, I'll ask you sort of a double question here, and then you can give your answer. But first off, how old are you? And secondly, you mentioned that you've been working, so you could tell us a little bit about that.
So, right now, I'm 18, but in 2 days, I'll be on the 29th, I'll be 19. Tomorrow I'll be 19. So on the 29th of August, I'll be 19. And, so yeah, basically, it's not really an exciting job. I just work as a grocery. I work as a cashier in a grocery store. I work at minimal wage. But yeah, because I needed to pay some things for my school, so I just work for, right now I'm entering my 7th month, and everything's doing great. I like my job, at least for the good parts, and overall, yeah, it's quite fun, and I make my money on my side, I pay for my school, and I'm slowly working towards this and finally getting out of said school.
Cool. So you would be in the U.S. we call it college, but post-compulsory education. So what kind of classes are you taking now, and what's your goal with this schooling?
Basically, in Quebec, we have something that's unique in the world. We have after you have high school, which is, okay, let's first start. You have elementary school, which is 7 years if you count the first one that I don't think it's really necessary or anything. But then you have high school, which is 5 years, and then after high school you go at a pre-university, which is called CEGEP, where you can learn either a technical stuff or more of a basic nature, science, and everything. Or you can go to a school called for basically learning, you basically learn a profession. And this is where I'm going towards, because after that I can directly go on the go work for myself and things like that, instead of doing then the university and things like that and not getting out of school for the next 5 years. So what I decided to go to an electrician apprenticeship and become an electrician at the end after 2 years. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That sounds like a very interesting career to get into. I hope you really get a charge out of that. But now that I've sort of caught up with you, which is nice to do, by the way, haven't seen you in a while. but but anyway,
Probably for good reason.
skipping right on past that. I generally like to say you were born and then things happened. Tell me about that. So just start talking about growing up and some of your early memories and how you got to where you are today.
All right, so I was born on the 29th of August 2000 at 11:02 p.m. at St. Mary's Hospital in Montreal. I then lived for between 3 or 6 months in Montreal, and we moved to the suburban of Toronto because my dad got work there, and my brother was born in 2003. And after that, we basically lived in Toronto for 3 years and a half or 4 years. And we moved back to Montreal suburban, where I live right now, in the same house that I basically grew up in the same house until 2004. I went to a basic elementary school. In third grade, I got moved to another one, which was closer to my house. And then I went to a private school called Charlemagne, which is 30 minutes of bike from where I live. So it's not really that far. And I went to, it's basically like a research/science science class, which quite frankly was not really pushed. There was no physics or anything. It was basically, science fair and things like that to create some technical things like a water-propelled rocket and things like that. And then in what we call secondary 4, I went to the science class was cancelled, and I went to a robotic class, and we made robots for 2 years. And secondary was cool. High school was really nice until maybe 4th grade, where I basically it was getting lesser fun, and I was like, how can I say it? Yeah, English is really good right now. I was kind of tired of it, and then I went to, after the 5th year of high school, I went to 6 months in Cégep. And it was so uninteresting, so boring, that I just, on the second session, which is after 6 months, I just decided that I stopped. I do not go, I don't want to do Cégep anymore. I went to work full time again, went to a trip with friends in Europe, came back to another Cégep in industrial design. It was extremely fun. I loved it, except for the main courses like philosophy and literature, which I absolutely despised. I was under contract, so I needed to pass 5 class out of 7, and I passed 4. So I basically got kicked out and decided that, nah, Cégep is not made for me. I don't want to go to it anymore. I'm doing, I want to learn a real course. I want to learn a profession, so I went with that. And this is where I am. I'm starting tomorrow.
Okay, interesting. So tell me a little bit more about what Cégep is.
Well, CJEP, well, like I said previously, it's basically just basically a pre-university. Because I really don't know the American school system, so I couldn't make a comparison. But basically, it's only a thing in Quebec. There's like on the other province of Canada, there's no CJEP, and we basically go to this school. It's a huge school, and you can directly learn a profession. Or and then go to university. You basically learn a profession and then decide if you want to go to university or not.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good system.
Yeah. Well, I have my opinions on it. But yeah, I decided that I'm really sick and tired of school. I just want to finish it as soon as I can. So I decided to, you know what, forget university. I just want to learn a profession, and electrician, I'm really a manual guy. I don't know if you saw my modeling videos. I really like to touch small things and build stuff. So I decided that electrician was really made for me, and I decided to go learn a profession which doesn't allow me to go to university afterwards.
Okay. Colonel Paul drops out of school, likes to touch small things.
Whoa,
Your words.
No, not in that.
I gotta step away from the computer real quick. I gotta go grab some more water for my daughter, so I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Okay, I'm back. Thanks for waiting.
No problem.
Left you on that cliffhanger, so... That's interesting. I was just thinking about how talking with... Dang it, I'm so bad with names. As soon as I think of him, his name flies out of my head.
Oh, dude, I'm the
talking
same.
with Mr. Steve Gamer. I can't remember his actual name. Anyway, probably
Steve.
You know, it's not. He named his channel after Minecraft Steve, but that's a different thing. But
that's a twist.
Well, that's a twist. But talking with Mr. Steve, he's one of those guys that really likes to work with his hands too, and you can tell that he gets impatient just talking about things all the time. You know, he wants to do something, and I sort of feel the same way. I like to learn, but I get tired of school because you learn what you need to, and then you just want to go do something. You know, you want to make something happen instead of just sitting in a classroom all the time. Yeah, hi, baby. It fell down, and now you have it. It's right there.
It fell down.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I think what I'm trying to say is you're in good company, and I wondered, you're a Canadian guy. Have you ever watched AVE?
I never heard of it.
So there's a YouTube channel called AVE. It's short for Arduino versus Evil. And it's run by a guy who's had his hands in all kinds of trade skill stuff. And mining and heavy industrial machinery, that kind of stuff. And now he makes videos on all kinds of machinery and tools. He does teardown reviews where he completely disassembles things like power drills and saws and all kinds of fun stuff. And he also gets involved. He started doing some computer-assisted designs, machining stuff. So you might want to check that out. AVE.
Yeah, that sounds actually really interesting. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. A good mentor for you.
Yep.
Anyway, where should we go from here? So we talked some about your past and where you were born. Tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in French Canada. Did you make some friends? And what's some things that maybe share some cultural things that people that aren't familiar with the area might find interesting?
Oh, you know, Canada is absolute hell. Everybody's so mean and everything. But, yeah, I'll stop the jokes. My childhood was, pretty easy. There's not really much to say. It's a pretty normal childhood. apparently I was obsessed with trains when I was really young, and from what I remember, my mom and dad put me in front of Top Gun. A huge mistake. I basically switched from trains to aircrafts instantly.
No, the beach volleyball scene had a lasting impact on you.
Oh my god! Dude, like, I'm dreaming about it every night. But yeah, after that, I basically grew up in the same house for my entire life, for the last 15 years. 15 or 14 years, anyway, yeah. And, I have some friends, I have some really good friends, who I went to, Europe last year with. And, I have some friends that have the same interest in, aviation and tank and history and things like that. So that's also pretty neat. Growing up in French Canada is like really not much different than everywhere in the world, except that you have much less Canadian stereotypes, like the A after each phrase and things like that. But overall, it's really just a fun place, a beautiful place. I have plenty of things to do. Going in Montreal is super easy. You just take the subway and you get everywhere everywhere you need to be in like 20 minutes. And everything's super accessible. I had a good education. I have nothing to complain about. And I feel extremely fortunate to got what I had.
Okay. And speaking of plenty of things to do, we've already talked about your modeling career and making YouTube videos, playing games like War Thunder, but what else do you do for fun? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Shit. Because like, my YouTube channel is basically just showing my hobbies overall. I'm just an history guy that likes to talk about history all the time and doing models and things like that and playing video games about history and simulators. But other than that, I just discovered a new passion about astronomy because I'm just recently started to watch a French YouTube channel which talks about astronomy, and I'm really getting into it. And after that, I like to go sometimes take a beer with my friends. We basically don't know anything about beers, but still debate about it, which one's the best and things like that, even though we know absolutely nothing. And also I really like to talk about politics, and I think you know that. But yeah, that's basically it. I really try to put my passions into my YouTube channel and things like that. I'm also a huge movie fan. I like to talk about how movies were made and small Easter eggs and things like that. Like Christopher Nolan for me is just like, for example, is just like a god, with his way to make movies and things like that. So yeah, basically politics and movies and sometimes beer.
Yeah, you want help? Okay, just a second. I'm getting. Gotta do some daddy things for the baby here, real quick. Yeah. Yeah, that's. Yeah, you got it all. Sugary. Yeah, there you go, baby. Okay. All right. So, seems like you're more of an indoors kind of guy.
Well, yeah, I like to walk. I like to go on walks and things like that, but I don't really like, big parties where people, get drunk until they puke and everything. I'm not that type of guy. I'm more of let's face it, I'm really an introvert. If I can speak in public, that's not really a problem, but meeting new people and things like that is really like a stressful thing for me.
I can actually relate to that. I sort of developed an intense interest in people but at the same time, just talking with people makes me so tired.
Well, it's not that. It's just like, I get, let's say, for me, going, let's say, on a date is extremely hard because I get extremely nervous with new people and things like that. So, and let's say, if a friend's, like, it happened to me once and I'm so ashamed. Like, a friend invited me to a party to meet new people and I couldn't stay. Like, my heart was just pumping. I was trembling. I was so cold. And I couldn't stay. I couldn't talk to people. I was in my corner, just thinking about leaving.
You know, I think that a lot of people around your age feel that way, and I'm pretty sure that's one of those things that you'll just sort of grow out of as you get older. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah,
it's a pretty common thing.
I do not really worry about it. Just working at a grocery store really helped because you talk to new people basically every day, and really that actually helps a lot.
Indeed. Well, sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. I gotta,
No
wash. I got a toddler constantly making demands of me right now.
Yeah, no
that's
problem.
what she
Take your
does.
time.
So, I guess I haven't asked much about this. You said that you have a little brother.
Yep.
Mom and dad. Any pets?
I have a turtle. I have a turtle that I need to clean the aquarium like tomorrow. And yeah, that's basically it. I had a cat when I was younger, but I'm extremely allergic to cats, so I went into an asthma crisis. Is it like that? I just couldn't breathe because of the cat, and it's funny because the day after the cat wasn't there anymore. So theories. But after that, yeah, I had a fish once, which was not the most interesting thing in the world, and right now I just have a turtle, which is much more than enough. That's a lot of works.
I sort of perked up when you mentioned that you have a turtle because there was this little brief period where the baby, we have 2 girls now, by the way. The baby was just starting to crawl, so she crawled like super slow and she didn't really get anywhere. So I would lay down a blanket on the floor and I would throw like strawberries and little bits of food onto the blanket, and she would like slowly make her way over to it and start just like mooshing the food because she's got little legummers.
Yeah.
So I basically treated her like a pet turtle for a while.
Well, that it's actually funny because my turtle eats like that. That's actually pretty fucking close. Because my turtle absolutely loves strawberries. You give her strawberries and it's like you're a god. And she just tries to crawl onto, because I do it on purpose. I put the strawberry on top of her small island, so she has to crawl to grab it. And it really makes me think about it.
So, happy turtle. How can you tell that a turtle's happy? Do their eyes light up? Do they make happy turtle noises?
Well, there's a thing that's like, instantly, the moment, because I have my bed and my turtle is basically right in front of me. The moment I move in my bed, I'm just, let's say, on my phone watching some stuff. And the moment I move, the turtle just starts flopping in the water. Just, I don't know what she wants. I don't know if she wants food or anything. But she just starts flopping. And the moment you approach her, she's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it's so hilarious.
Well, she's a girl turtle. She wants you to notice her. Yeah, my younger daughter is just obsessed with my attention. So if I'm looking at her, she's so happy. And if I'm not, then as long as she's busy, she's fine. But she'll require my attention constantly. This little toddler here, the
Daddy,
2-year-old.
I want your attention now.
Yep. And they're girls, so I have to give them my attention because they need that.
Uh,
Well, where do we go from here? This has all been pretty interesting. And we talked a little bit about school and where you're going with that, training up to be an electrician. I think it's great that you're working a full-time minimum wage job. That's a good experience for everybody, I think, because it really makes you...
Yeah, go for it.
It really makes you want a better paying job, you know? Like you work hard and then you get your paycheck and it feels good. You know, it really feels good to earn money, and then you start spending it and it disappears pretty quick. So
Oh yeah, I can confirm that. But there's a thing is that it really makes working a minimal job, a public minimal wage job, really makes you like learn about people and learn about yourself. And like, you start to, realize that you're not better than everyone or anything like that. And that's a thing that I strongly believe that everyone in their life should at least work, I don't know, like 6 months, just 6 months at a minimal wage job. Just so they know, just more of a learning respect to those people because, they're not animals. They're human beings working a job. And that's a problem that a lot of people have, is that they don't see, the small, stupid cashier at your grocery store as a human being, and they will treat you like an animal. So really working at a minimum wage job makes you really learn about, life and learn about getting money and learn about real stuff.
it's definitely a valuable learning experience, which is one of the reasons I'm so excited to hear that that's where you're at right now. I love my store clerks. I don't get out of the house very much, but there's a few occasions during the week when I go, and I always make sure to stop by the store on my way back home, and I'm just super cheerful and stupid and cracking jokes with the people at the market.
Those are the best. Those are the best clients. I can tell you that.
Well, those are the people that love people, man.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about a lot of things, and I guess we could probably wrap it up with, what are your hopes for your channel in the future? You've talked a little bit about the video you're working on right now and about getting back into historical stuff, but maybe just finish it up on what do you hope for in the future? You just hit 300 views on your channel. Or, sorry. Not 300 views! Sorry! 300 subscribers! And it wasn't long ago that I was in the same place. So,
it's slowly growing.
What are your dreams for the channel?
One of my dreams, what I will like, there's one of what you could call a mentor or anything that I really look up to. It's potential history and the chieftain. And I would love, absolutely love to have the opportunity to get around a tank, getting inside of it, and, do my own version of Inside the Chieftain's Hatch, like also Potential History did. And just, talking about stuff, getting the occasion to go visit places for my job, go visit, I don't know, the Maginot Line, for a video, for something that I'm passionate about, for something that'll be great and that people will enjoy. And yeah, just being able to visit places that I wouldn't be able to visit by myself for fun.
Well, that sounds really exciting, and I look forward to seeing you reach that goal at some point in the future. I also think that it's really interesting that you're getting into... Yeah, hi, baby. That you're getting into electrical engineering. That is a field that can take you all over the world if that's the route you want to go for. There's a big call for people with that understanding. So, it's been nice talking with you, nice catching up with you, and I'm excited to see your channel growing. So, for all of you that haven't checked out... Colonel Paul's channel on YouTube,
aka Nomad Prod.
aka Nomad Prod. There will be a link to that in the description of this video. And with that, Paul, go ahead and say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Wait, I need to do my outro. This has been Do Not Even Try, Paul Do Not Even Try Gama, and I will see you next time.
Alright, you heard the guy, lads and ladies. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.